You know what the most horrifying thing in the world is for us Bandit Keith enthusiasts? It's the medical system, but rarely do we get many games that handle the rather prolific set of hospital drama shows. Daring doctors rushing to save a patient's life, interpersonal drama mixed with professional needs, and the occasional full musical episode about a tumor. Eldritch Care Unit by Falconian Productions, though that's also a little bit weird, but is a medical drama RPG about doctors doing their best to save a patient no matter the cost. But the catch is that most of those patients are, well, Eldritch, which is a fancy way of saying supernatural bullshit, because ECU is, at its core, a medical drama, except instead of treating mouse bite-itis with more mouse bites, it's instead about treating a were-rat with more mouse bites. But how do we get this game to play? D6 dice pool roll under system, trying the best to minimize the amount of dice rolled to get under your various trainings. Sort of. If we use Dr. Lucas Astronaut, his primary field would be Psychodemonologist, ranked at 25, a secondary field of Ritualist at 20, and a hobby of Book Nerd at 15. These are your stats, with anything not covered here in extreme circumstances, mind you, would actually be defaulted to 6. But from here, you can choose a supernatural quirk, which usually boils down to skip a check, remove dice from a check, or make a check you wouldn't normally be able to. So Mr. Astaroth can have Hellborn, which removes adversarial dice when attempting to communicate with demons. He is a psychologist after all. But here's where things get a little bit fucky-wucky. The adversarial system. Under normal circumstances, you'll take a difficulty and compare it to your training. Something that's average would be about 10, for example, which means that everyone succeeds all the time, right?
Wrong. 10,000 years watching the good doctor.
The main difficulty of the game comes from the adversarial dice. Anytime there is an issue, time crunch, no tools, weird conditions, getting mauled by the entire cast of Sesame Street, or other such disaster, another adversarial die is added. Roughly speaking, up to about 5 or 6 of these. These are rolled and subtracted from your training. It doesn't matter if your training is 25, rolling a 24 on 5d6 is going to send your patient to the fucking forever box. The main game, you could say, is mitigating these adversarial dice. Let's say our patient is dying horribly of devilitis. As a psychodemonologist, we're most trained for this, but we only have a 20 due to it not being exact. Oh no, there's 5 adversarial die. We're covered in coffee, the demoness is losing her shit, we ran out of devilberry juice, Elmo has a gun, and Dr. Astronaut's ex-wife is calling right now. It cascades down. Dr. Astronaut needs to make a check to calm the patient down using that supernatural quirk. One done. Elmo is kicked out. Dr. Michael picks up the phone and alimony isn't going to be paid today. And luckily, our janitor, Jerry the photorealistic tiger, just delivered us our devilberry juice. Boom! We roll that 1d6 and we barely managed to treat her devilitis. Good job, team. We did it. We are the doctors, TM. Everything is part of this cascade of problems that affects a patient and the situation. It's not just a patient, it's the situations that cause problems, the situation around the problem, and all of the issues that stem from all of those problems. I actually kind of enjoy the adversarial system, except for 2 points. The first is that a lot of what I described is actually Lamau Wing It. It's very sparse on what can affect the ECU proper and aggressively jazz hand situations for narrative rather than anything harder. Secondly, and this is a pretty personal thing, but you don't roll dice. All adversarial dice are assigned by the GM, and nominally it's their problem. The players have very little authority of the difficulties presented or their own capabilities. Every element of chaos presented is just removing those problems and is the only actual resolution system outside of just role-playing it. Apparently they are going to be addressing these in the sequel, which has us play Better Call Dunkelzahn. But ECU can be used for any medical drama at its most basic, allowing you to play house just as much as Scrubs. I enjoy this. Its pitch is unique and the system is interesting, if a tad weird. My name is Notepad, and this was the Eldritch Care Unit. If you like what I do, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And many thanks to the Foundation of the Open Palm of our Dark Lord for continuing to fund our rituals into the unknown world of medicine. Godspeed, good luck, and never, ever trust a fae.